Greetings, Golden State Warriors fans. Today I bring you 3 incredible pieces of news about our team. Stay tuned until the end of the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and share your opinions in the comments. Let's get started with the first news. NBA legend Joe Johnson pushes for Warriors to pursue LeBron James trade. 7-time All-Star believes Curry-James duo would be legendary for Golden State's championship aspirations. The Golden State Warriors may still be in the early stages of their 2025 offseason planning, but one NBA legend is already making a bold suggestion that could shake up the entire league. 7-time NBA All-Star Joe Johnson has publicly urged the Warriors to pursue a blockbuster trade for Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James, arguing that a Curry-James partnership would give the King his best shot at another championship. "If I had to choose, I'm going Steph over Doncic," Johnson declared when comparing potential landing spots for the 4-time NBA champion. "Not only because he's proven, but he's a guy who's going to command so much attention that LeBron will really get to play a natural position, which is like more of a facilitator." Warriors' current roster situation. The Warriors are currently navigating several key decisions this offseason, most notably the situation with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga. Once that matter is resolved, Golden State will likely pursue veteran additions including Al Horford, DeAnthony Melton, and Gary Payton II to bolster their supporting cast. The franchise already boasts one of the league's premier trios in Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green. However, questions remain about whether their current supporting cast can propel them to championship contention, leading some to speculate about potential blockbuster moves. The LeBron factor. Trade rumors surrounding LeBron James have intensified this offseason, with many league observers speculating that his tenure with the Lakers could be nearing its end. While a Warriors-Lakers deal remains highly unlikely, Johnson believes the basketball fit would be phenomenal. "Yeah, he gonna probably still score about 22 to 25 points a night, but him facilitating? Oh my God," Johnson explained, envisioning how James would adapt his game alongside Curry's off-ball brilliance. Championship window considerations. Critics like Shannon Sharpe and Chad Johnson have questioned whether the Warriors would be competitive with an aging Curry-James duo, particularly if they had to surrender Jimmy Butler in any potential trade package. However, Joe Johnson emphasized the often overlooked value of Draymond Green's presence. "A lot of people take his presence for granted," Johnson noted, suggesting that a Curry-James-Green trio would create immediate championship contention, albeit with a narrow window given the ages of the superstars involved. While the likelihood of such a trade remains minimal, the mere possibility of uniting two of basketball's greatest players in Warriors uniforms continues to captivate fans and analysts alike as the offseason unfolds. Second news. Warriors face potential loss of Jonathan Kuminga as contract standoff continues. Young forward's reluctance to accept teams' offer raises concerns about his future in Golden State. The Golden State Warriors are facing a growing crisis as the clock ticks toward September, with promising young forward Jonathan Kuminga still unsigned and showing little interest in returning to the franchise that drafted him. The standoff has reached a critical juncture, with the Warriors' 2-year, $45 million offer, featuring a team option for the second season, sitting untouched on the table. According to NBA insider Brett Siegel of Clutch Points, the situation has deteriorated beyond simple contract negotiations. "The only reason Kuminga hasn't accepted this contract is because he truly doesn't want to return to the Warriors," Siegel reported, sending shockwaves through the Warriors faithful who have watched the 21-year-old develop since his arrival as the 7th overall pick in 2021. The numbers don't add up. Kuminga's initial contract demands reflected his lofty aspirations, seeking a deal worth over $30 million annually, positioning himself alongside draft classmates Scottie Barnes and Cade Cunningham. However, the Warriors front office has drawn a line in the sand, deeming that price point too steep for a player still establishing his role in their championship-caliber rotation. The financial gulf represents more than just dollars and cents. It highlights a fundamental disconnect between how Kuminga views his value and how the organization that developed him sees his current worth. A relationship in jeopardy. What makes this situation particularly troubling for Warriors management is the apparent finality of Kuminga's stance. If the young forward's reluctance stems purely from financial considerations, negotiations could potentially find middle ground. However, if his desire to leave Golden State runs deeper, involving playing time, role definition, or organizational philosophy, the path to reconciliation becomes significantly more treacherous. The nuclear option looms large. Kuminga could accept the qualifying offer worth just under $8 million for the upcoming season. While this might seem financially disadvantageous in the short term, it would grant him a no-trade clause for 2025 to 26 and unrestricted free agency status the following summer, potentially costing the Warriors their investment in his development. Warriors' worst-case scenario. For an organization that prides itself on player development and maintaining championship continuity, losing Kuminga for nothing would represent a devastating blow. The forward has shown flashes of the two-way potential that made him an attractive draft prospect, displaying athleticism and defensive versatility that could complement the Warriors' aging core. With several teams expected to have significant cap space next offseason, Kuminga would enter a favorable market as an unrestricted free agent, potentially commanding the lucrative deal he seeks elsewhere while leaving Golden State empty-handed. Third news. Warriors eye veteran big man Al Horford as Kuminga saga continues. Golden State's championship window remains open, but roster moves hinge on restricted free agents' decision. The Golden State Warriors offseason remains in limbo as the franchise continues negotiations with restricted free agent Jonathan Kuminga, but reports suggest the team has already lined up potential reinforcements waiting in the wings. Among the most intriguing names reportedly holding a handshake deal with Golden State is veteran center Al Horford, the 39-year-old Boston Celtics free agent who could provide the championship-tested depth the Warriors desperately need. As Warriors fans anxiously await resolution to the Kuminga situation, questions swirl about whether Horford would truly complement an already aging core. With Stephen Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green all 35 or older, adding another veteran raises eyebrows about the team's long-term championship viability. What Horford brings to the Bay. Despite his advanced age, Horford's skill set appears tailor-made for Golden State's system. His three-point shooting ability, he shot over 40% from beyond the arc in recent seasons before a slight dip last year, would perfectly complement the Warriors' spacing-heavy offense. The team saw firsthand how effective stretch bigs can be after Quinton Post's impressive outside shooting provided an unexpected offensive boost last season. Defensively, Horford remains analytically sound, bringing the high basketball IQ that has defined his career. While he's no longer the rim-protecting force of his Atlanta Hawks prime, his positioning and veteran savvy could prove invaluable in playoff scenarios. The reality check. Warriors faithful shouldn't expect Horford to be a game-changing acquisition. At this stage of his career, he's not the transition runner or lob threat that made him special. That responsibility will continue falling to young big man Tracy Jackson-Davis, who has embraced that role since joining the team in 2023. Horford's rebounding has also declined significantly, posting just a 12% total rebound percentage over the past 3 seasons. For a Warriors team that has struggled on the boards in recent years, this limitation could prove problematic. The smart money suggests Golden State would use Horford sparingly during the regular season, preserving his legs for a potential playoff run where his championship experience and clutch gene could prove the difference-maker.